but then they went into a funk. They're coming off an impressive series win at home against the New York Mets. Down 5-1 late in Game 2. Coming back and eventually winning it in extras. Sorry. And then dominating the rubber game. Merrill Kelly striking out a career high of 10 through 7 2/3 innings. Best start of his young career. And Peralta has been hurt as well. He may be activated off the IL as early as tonight. They may have even activated him already. I'm just not sure. Oh, by the way, let me ask you guys something. Are we finally starting to see what Lucas Giolito really is? Like, am I seeing things? Or is he really 8-1 with a 2.54 ERA? 78 strikeouts in 67 innings? A whip it's below 1? Now, is this the same Lucas Giolito? The guy who came up the first time, had an ERA of over 6, has gone back down multiple times. Last year, had an ERA of over 6 again. Like, is this the same guy? He's been impressive, man. This is the guy we were all waiting to see when he was a top-notch, highly touted pitching prospect. Where would the Chicago White Sox be without him this year? There's somewhat still just a game below 500 without Eloy Jimenez playing well. The offense has struggled. The rest of the pitching staff has just been straight up awful. And I mean awful. Take a look at the numbers of some of those guys in their pitching rotation. You want to see a bad pitching rotation? Take a look at Chicago. Really, outside of Jose Abreu, the start that, Tim Anderson got off to, Moncada's been, good. Outside of that, the White Sox, you would think that they would be terrible. They're just a game below 500. And to me, you have to give a good amount of that up to Lucas Giolito and how he's pitched this year. To me, Game 2 of the NBA Finals was more along the lines of what I expected. Like, early in this, it wouldn't have surprised me at all, Toronto winning Game 1. I knew they were going to win one of the first 2 games. Like, after the Game 1 loss, I feel like people began to have just a little doubt about the Warriors when it comes to their dominance right now. This is still the Golden State Warriors. As long as they have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, this is still a team with leadership, with toughness, the greatest shooting, backcourt of all time. And I know people get tired of hearing it, but we're seeing history on a nightly basis with the Golden State Warriors. We're seeing 2 of the greatest shooters of all time. Championship pedigree. By the way, I'm sure everybody's noticed. But when, Golden State seems to, they do their thing the first half, in the first 2 quarters. They come out, they do their thing. they're probably, they're tied or they're losing by a little bit. Something happens to them in the third quarter. Excuse me. It's like, the Looney Tunes when they, Mike's secret stuff. They take Mike's secret stuff at halftime in the locker room. They come out like a bunch of Tasmanian devils. Like, it's just crazy what they do. They come out and they just rain threes. They take over the entire game in the third quarter. You come out and they're just on, it's like all their hands are just on fire. Absolutely crazy what they do. Games change like that. In the blink of an eye. You have them, and then they're gone. Like, I can't even blame... I can kind of blame Toronto. But the Toronto Raptors have proven themselves already. They've made their point. This is a really good basketball team. Losing to the Warriors in the finals is really nothing to be ashamed of. This is a hell of a team, regardless of what happens the rest of the way. Kawhi Leonard is still a bad boy. One of the best, if not, arguably the best in the sport. Kyle Lowry showed he could step up in the postseason for the first time in his career. Pascal Siakam has taken 8 steps forward this year. He appears to be like a guy who can potentially be a superstar. But the Warriors at Oracle, to me, Toronto needed to win last night's game. They needed to win last night. But late last night, you could see Toronto's inexperience. Late in the game. In the fourth quarter, they were trying to play the Warriors game. The Warriors started hitting threes, and it's like they got scared. They were like, oh no, if we don't start, trying to rain threes like they do, we're going to get blown out. That was almost like, they stopped playing their game and they tried playing the Warriors game. I remember they were down, I think it was 5 with, it was 50 seconds left. They kept raining threes, or they were trying to rain threes. You don't get away from your game plan. Play great defense. Try to make a 2. Maybe they foul and you get to the line. You still have plenty of time. Clay got hurt late in the game. That's going to be big, by the way. But, going in 1-1, I said Warriors in 5. I made a mistake. I thought they were doing the 2-3-2 format. I'm going to go Warriors in 6 because this was exactly what I saw coming. Raptors taking a home game early on. Them going back to Golden State tied. And then if they're healthy, the Warriors are winning the next 2 games at Oracle. Even if it's just Clay healthy. Up 3-1, the series is over regardless of what they do in Game 5. Toronto can dominate at home. They're going back to Oracle Game 6 and losing. Klay Thompson, like I mentioned, he got hurt late in Game 2. See, that is an issue. The Warriors need him healthy. They cannot afford to lose any more key cogs to this machine. They need the Splash Brothers healthy, especially if KD is still sidelined. You cannot you can't not have either KD or Clay. Steph Curry and DeMarcus Cousins and Draymond Green aren't going to be able to do that themselves. They need more. They need at least one of those guys, KD or Klay Thompson, healthy. But the bottom line in this series is that when the Warriors get going from three, there really isn't much you can do about it. The Raptors started trying to play Golden State's game, and that's when I knew they weren't going to win. The Warriors did exactly what you expect them to do, and the Raptors went along with it and tried to play the Warriors game and shot themselves out of that game. Until someone takes the Warriors down 4 times, I am not betting against them. I just don't believe it's going to happen. That'll do it for me. I'd just like to thank everyone for listening. All those in the chat room. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys on Friday. Stay good looking.